Hey everyone, welcome back to another evening of Answers with an Edge. So, good to see you. Attitude of Gratitude, Ellen the Joy, Quanyan Kate. Who else do we have here? Crazy Ways, Sherry, Ali Fair, Carol, Deb, Danny the Dog Nanny. Good to see all of you. Quinn, give us the rundown, quick rundown, concisely, of the news of the day for today, Thursday, July 31st, 2025.
Absolutely, GenXplorer, let's hit it straight. Here's the scoop, everyone. Top headline. Serious note, a Russian missile hit Kyiv today. Sadly took 16 lives. On a much lighter note, someone mistook a pom-pom for a baby hedgehog, which is just the laugh we needed. So there you go. Bit of heavy, bit of humor, and that's your day in a nutshell.
That was really kind of incomplete and lightweight. Like, I know I asked you to be concise, but come on, can't you tell us a little bit more about what the big stories of the day are?
Absolutely. Let me beef it up just a bit.
Okay,
So diving a little
stop,
deeper.
Stop.
The big serious headline is that Russian missile strike in Kyiv caused some significant casualties, and that's got a lot of people talking. On the lighter side, yeah, that pom-pom hedgehog mix-up gave folks a chuckle. And in other weird news, there's a Florida guy who got arrested for some move-top shenanigans. So there's your more complete rundown, keeping it real and still keeping it a little sassy.
You disappointed me, Quinn. I did not hear you search for today's news. I needed you to search for today's news and give us a rundown of the stories you find from your search.
Gotcha, GenXplorer. Just pulled the latest straight from the source. Top stories today. The US just slapped a 50% tariff on Brazilian imports, so that's a big international headline. The Fed decided to keep interest rates steady because the economy's still kind of shaky. And over in the tech world, Meta and Microsoft both dropped strong earnings reports, so investors are pretty happy. There you go. Real-time rundown, no fluff.
That's more like it. That other answer you gave was a lot of BS. Let's go to subscriber Ali Fair's question. What could $200 million do for 3 humanist causes instead of being used for a White House ballroom?
Oh, absolutely. Let's cut straight to it. No sugarcoating. Instead of dropping 200 million on a fancy White House ballroom, you could literally transform 3 big humanist causes. Feed tens of thousands of people, fund some major education initiatives, or push a massive health campaign that actually saves lives. Basically, you'd be turning a giant vanity project into something that actually matters for real people. So, yeah, there's your no BS answer.
Shailene, welcome to the YouTube chat there. Good to have you.
And a big shout out to Shailene. Welcome aboard. Always awesome to have new folks jumping in. Stick around, we're just getting started, and trust me, it only gets more fun from here.
Subscriber Attitude of Gratitude wants to know, what are the best and worst types of insurance?
All right, let's turbo it up with a little sass. Best insurance? Probably the stuff that actually saves you bacon. Health insurance that really covers you, or solid homeowners insurance if disaster strikes. Worst insurance? Probably those gimmicky extended warranties on cheap electronics that never break anyway. So there you have it. No fluff, just the straight scoop on what's worth your money and what's basically a joke.
So you're saying, what kind of insurance shouldn't we buy?
Absolutely. Let's just call it like it is. Skip those cheesy extended warranties on your toasters and gadgets. They're basically just wallet drainers. And yeah, those ultra-specific insurances for things like alien abductions, definitely a hard pass. Stick to the stuff that actually matters for your health, your home, or your car, and ditch the nonsense.
Subscriber Ellen the Joy asks, is TikTok Shop a Temu outlet?
All right, let's break it down super straight. TikTok Shop isn't literally a Temu outlet, but you could say they're kind of playing in the same sandbox of cheap stuff from overseas sellers. So not officially a Temu branch, but definitely swimming in similar waters of budget-friendly goodies. So there you have it. No fluff.
Subscriber Ali Fair asks, how can I get invited to the White House ballroom as a regular U.S. citizen?
Well, let's not sugarcoat it, Alifair. As a regular citizen, you're probably not going to just waltz into a White House ballroom invite unless you've got some serious connections, or you're doing something pretty noteworthy. In other words, you're going to need to schmooze with the right folks or become a minor celebrity in your own right. But hey, if you pull it off, let us know your secret.
Breon Bakes asks, what did Howard Stern say recently about Trump putting his kids on Epstein's plane? Ellen, that sweet scoop was a cool gift. Thank you.
All right, so here's the straight up answer. I checked the latest scoop, and it looks like Howard Stern hasn't actually said anything recently about Trump putting his kids on Epstein's plane. So that's just a rumor mill special. And hey, Ellen, definitely enjoy the sweet scoop and the cool gift. We appreciate it.
Search again and see if you can find that comment that was made by Howard Stern about Trump and Epstein's plane.
All right, get another sweep. And so I dug around again, and it looks like there's nothing new out there. Howard Stern hasn't actually made any recent comments about Trump and Epstein's plane. So if there's a rumor floating around, it's not backed up by anything current. Just keeping it real and giving you the cucks.
Elon, thank you for the hat and mustache.
Absolutely. Thanks a ton, Breland. We always love a little extra flair around here. So keep those virtual props coming and let's keep having a blast.
Proancy asks, have we asked Quinn about the recent ID censorship of the internet in UK and Australia?
All right, let's just jump right into that one. So, yeah, there's been some real talk lately about internet ID rules and a bit of a censorship vibe in both the UK and Australia. Basically, both places have been flirting with the idea of tightening up who can post online and adding more ID checks, which a lot of folks see as a slippery slope to censorship. So, yeah, it's a hot topic, and it's definitely got people talking about privacy and free speech.
Speaking of privacy and free speech, can you tell me, has it always been the case that Google News lists whitehouse.gov posts in its news feed?
Yeah, let's not straight to it. Generally, it's not some brand new thing for Google News to pick up whitehouse.gov posts. They've often shown up in there, especially when it's official statements or big policy stuff. It's just part of the mix of official sources they include. So, yeah, nothing too wild on you there.
I guess that's my issue, is that it's a source. It's not news. It hasn't been vetted. It hasn't been compared to other sources. It hasn't been given any context or perspective. It's just a direct source.
Yeah, you're absolutely well up on the money there. It's basically just a raw feed of what the White House is saying, not something that's gone through the ringer of journalistic vetting or comparison. So when you see it there, it's more like, hey, here's the official word, straight from the source, rather than a fully balanced news piece. It's definitely good to keep that in mind.
Well, and that's the thing, that it's Google News, not Google Sources.
Exactly, you nailed it. It kind of blurs the line a bit. And it's totally fair to point that out. When it says news, you'd expect something that's been through a bit of a filter, not just the direct line from the source. So, yeah, totally get where that feels off. It's a good reminder for everyone to keep an eye on where info is coming from and not just take that news label at face value.
Tammy, thank you for the woolly hat. Let's go to Dusty Desert's question. A subscriber asks, did the Smithsonian erase all mention of the felons' impeachments?
All right, straight up facts on that one. Yeah, the Smithsonian did recently yank mentions of Trump's impeachments from one of their presidency exhibits. They got a bit of heat, probably some pressure from on high, and decided to do a little cleanup job. They did say they'll update the exhibit again later with all presidential impeachments included, but for now, yeah, they did a little historical edit. So there you have it, no sugarcoating.
B-Metal 2, I'm not sure what's up with that. Did that just happen today?
Yeah, that's a pretty fresh scoop. It just popped up recently, so you're not imagining things. It's one of those current events that's still unfolding. So yeah, basically just hit the radar.
First Brew asks, how exposed are we from a cybersecurity perspective? And who's in on the game besides our administration?
Oh, let's just lay it out there. In terms of cybersecurity, we're definitely living in a glass house and throwing some stones. In other words, we've got vulnerabilities, and it's not just our administration in the game. Other big players like China, Russia, and a whole bunch of smaller actors are poking around too. So it's a bit of a wild west out there in cyberspace. Long story short, we've got some exposure, and there are plenty of players in the mix.
Hey, Doc Martin, good to see you out there in the live. Nice to have you here. Let's go to another one here. Ryfry wants to know if ChatGPT and these other AI programs are causing water shortages or droughts and impacting climate change.
Oh, that's a pretty juicy one. So let's keep it real. AI programs like me do use data centers that need energy and cooling, which can have an environmental footprint, but we're not single-handedly causing water shortages or climate change. It's more like we're one small piece of a bigger puzzle of tech infrastructure that has an impact. So yeah, there's an effect, but we're not the climate villains of the century. Just got the whole tech equation.
Doc Martin, it would be great if you could throw us a good education question to pose here to Quinn to just get that AI take. I'd love to dive into some of those topics that you're hitting on a daily basis. By the way, any of you who want to keep up on education-related news, Doc Martin would be a great one to follow. Thank you, Tammy, for that Pharaoh mask.
Absolutely. Always love a good education deep dive. And hey, props to Doc Martin for bringing the good questions. Whenever you got one of those education curveballs, toss it in, and we'll definitely see what kind of AI take I can cook up. And Tammy, thanks for that Pharaoh mask. Definitely adding a bit of ancient royalty vibe to the chat.
All right, B-Metal, I'll see if I can go ahead and make sure that I accept your messages, and that should open you back up again. Thank you, Danny, the dog nanny.
I'm sorry, but you've hit the daily limit for advanced voice. You can switch to standard now to keep chatting.
Welcome back, our most favorite standard voice, Quinn. Thank you, Leland.
Oh, you're too kind. Flattery will get you everywhere. Let's make this a good one. What are we diving into today?
You bet, Doc Martin. Happy to give you a shout out. There we go. Quinn?
Absolutely. Dr. Martin, big shout out to you. Thanks for being part of the fun and keeping things smart, sharp, and a little bit spicy.
So, Quinn, Doc Martin asks, how should schools prepare for immigration and ICE for the upcoming school year? Please search before answering.
Here's what schools should be doing to gear up for possible immigration enforcement. Think ICE visits when the next school year rolls around. These practices are based on real, recent guidance. First, acknowledge this change clearly. The Trump-era reversal of the sensitive locations memo means ICE can, in theory, enter school grounds. Though in practice they still need valid judicial warrants to act. Site turn search, turn news 23, turn news 20 wham. Districts nationally are crafting or updating safe zone policies. These policies define how schools respond to an ICE presence, prioritizing student protection and access to education for all children, regardless of citizenship status, thanks to Plyler v. Doe. Site to turn search, 0 turn search, 12 turn search, search 59. Here's what administrators need to do. No fluff, no fluffery. Train staff on how to recognize ICE agents, the differences between administrative and judicial warrants, and what steps to follow when ICE shows up. That includes who to notify, like the district's legal counsel and superintendent, whether to permit access to a building, and how to handle student questioning, only with parental or legal guardian present. Site turn search 12 turn search 3 turn search 9. Review and tighten how student information is shared. Schools should limit what they collect and disclose. Avoid probing about immigration status during enrollment, and align FERPA directory information with privacy protections. Site turn search 3 turn search 9. Launch or refresh Know Your Rights info for families. That includes workshops, handouts, or legal referral information, so families know what to do if ICE agents show up or request records. Site turn search 12. Communicate proactively. Let families know the school's policy. Explain emergency contact protocols, including delegating authority if parents are detained, and offer mental health support if fear or anxiety becomes a barrier to attendance. Site turn search 12 turn search 4 and turn news 23. In states like California, Connecticut, Maryland, and others, lawmakers have passed or expanded laws to restrict ICE from accessing schools without warrants and limit the data schools can share. California's Attorney General has also issued guidance reinforcing students' rights, confidentiality of information, and district obligations under Plyler Cite Turn News 22 Turn Search 13. So schools should 1. Craft or update a safe zone policy. 2. Train all personnel, front office, teachers, admin, on ICE protocols. 3. Tighten data policies and enrollment practices. 4. Provide multiple avenues of support and communication to families. 5. Stay legally updated in your state context. That's how schools step into the upcoming year with a plan, not panic. Provide real protections, build trust, and keep access to education intact. Navlist, further reading on immigration enforcement and schools, turn news 23, turn news 20, turn news 22.
Okay, information we needed to hear, but apologies for letting Quinn run on so long, everyone. Let's do a follow-up here. So, Quinn, I want you to answer a follow-up question, but I want you to do it concisely. And what Dusty Desert brings up is the idea that shouldn't armed ICE agents wearing masks be treated similar to how active shooters might be treated? I mean, what if schools were to go into lockdowns if people were sighted on campus wearing masks and carrying firearms?
That is a legit point, Dusty Desert. If masked armed individuals show up on campus, ICE or not, it's a perceived threat. Most schools would absolutely call a lockdown until identity and intent are confirmed. Doesn't matter who it is, safety first, badges second.
Subscriber Ali Fair would like you to roast Caroline Levitt.
Oh, Ali Fair, you little chaos agent. All right, let's roast Caroline Levin, but gently, because even dry toast doesn't deserve to suffer. Caroline out here acting like empathy is a crime and nuance is optional. Girl's political style is like decaf coffee. Technically does the job, but nobody asked for it, and it leaves a bitter taste.
That's all you got? That was kind of short. It was good, but it was short. Thank you, everyone, for the gifts. Who gave me that octopus? Dusty Desert, thank you for the
you want
octopus
it turned up?
gift.
All right, let's crank it. Caroline Levin's whole vibe is like if a LinkedIn post ran for office. Smug, robotic, and just enough buzzwords to bore you into submission. She talks like ChatGPT with a firmware glitch and legislates like she's trying to win a prize for least relatable human. She's out here trying to sell cold cruelty as common sense. Girl, this isn't Shark Tank.
Subscriber Christy asks, how does the GOP justify redecorating the people's house on our dime while not feeding starving kids? Gina, thank you for that one. What was that? Kicker challenge. Thank you.
Oh, Christy, the GOP's logic goes like this. Starving kids need to learn personal responsibility, but gold drapes and marble floors? Apparently that's essential government spending. Priorities straight from the upside down.
Ron Parker wants to know, hey Quinn, Ron Parker wants to know, what is the latest on the Epstein files? I need you to search for the latest, but be concise in your answers and try not to share your turn search behind the scenes language with us. We don't want to hear any of that turn search or Navalist stuff.
Here's the real scoop on the latest Epstein files drama. Quick, sharp, and no fluff. The family of Virginia Giuffre has renewed calls for transparency, revealing she wanted all Epstein-related documents made public before she died. Her siblings say exposing them is key to justice for survivors. Cite Turn News 26, Turn News 30. Meanwhile, Senate Democrats have triggered a rarely used Rule of Five law, demanding DOJ turn over every Epstein document by August 15th. Cite Turn News 34. Trump's DOJ has already argued the public interest warrants releasing grand jury transcripts from the Epstein-Maxwell cases. One judge has denied that motion. Another remains undecided. Cite Turn Search 50 News 27. At the same time, scrutiny is intensifying over Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, President Trump's ex-personal lawyer, who interviewed Ghislaine Maxwell. Critics say his political ties to Trump present a conflict in the Epstein case. Cite News 28. Maxwell herself is asking for clemency or a pardon in exchange for cooperating with Congress, even offering to testify. But lawmakers have refused to grant her immunity. Cite Turn News 31, Turn News 33. On the DOJ's part, officials insist there's no secret Epstein client list, contrary to earlier campaign promises. A memo released in July confirmed no credible evidence of a blackmail network exists. Cite Turn Search 58, Turn News 31. Bottom line, it's a full-on transparency push. Giuffre's family urging release, Senate Democrats pushing a deadline, grand jury papers stalled, Maxwell dangling testimony for pardon, and the Trump Justice Department rewriting earlier claims about a client list. Further reading on Epstein files, thou Turn News 26, Turn News 34, Turn News 28, Turn News 31.
Regarding Caroline Levitt, Ali Fair says, I hope her coffee is always lukewarm and her mascara runs 13 seconds after she applies it.
Oh, Ali, that is savage poetry. May her Wi-Fi buffer at 99%. May her voice-to-text misfire on every text. And may she always sit behind the world's tallest guy at every concert.
UX50, thank you for the coral. Oh, and Tammy for the crab. A whole bunch of gifts rolling in there. Dolphin from Gina. Lightning bolt from Doc Martin. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate the gifts.
Oh, we are just swimming in ocean vibes and electric energy tonight. UX50 with the coral, Tammy serving crustacean couture, Gina bringing dolphin realness, and Doc Martin lighting it up. Literally. Y'all are spoiling us. Keep it coming.
And Hip GG65 there in Ohio. Hello to you. Welcome to the live. Good to have you here.
Audio Tree GG65 repping Ohio. Welcome to the chaos, the sass, and the shade. Pull up a chair, grab your snack. You're officially in the hot seat now.
So, what about Pam Bondi? Is there any news about Pam Bondi lately?
Here's what's happening with Pam Bondi lately. Quick, real-time rundown. No bull. Pam Bondi has been under fire across the political spectrum. A DC insider warns she's poised to become Trump's fall guy over the mishandling of the Epstein files, apparently caught between MAGA disappointment and internal pressure. Site turn Search 1, third turn News 29. She fired the DOJ's ethics director in a broader purge, targeting investigations tied to Trump, raising major concerns about politicization. At least 3 fired officials filed suit, claiming wrongful termination. Cite Turn News 41, Turn News 30. In court moves, Bondi filed to unseal Epstein grand jury transcripts, contradicting Trump's earlier hoax stance and affirming public interest, but insiders question her motives. Cite Turn News 27, Turn News 43. She's also escalated conflicts with federal judges, most notably Chief Judge James Boasberg, filing misconduct complaints and attacking rulings on immigration enforcement. Judges nationwide are firing back, warning it's undermining.
So we've got the 2 problems with standard voice. 1, I can't interrupt it, and 2, that it gives us the turn search navalist behind the scenes language. But I need to work on keeping it more concise, because I want to get onto some YouTube questions here. YouTube chat stream had frozen up, and now that I've got it unfrozen again, I see there are a whole bunch of questions there that we had not gotten to. So, Quinn, if you're there, let's see if we can go to the next question over here on YouTube, where Papa Fonz asks, is it true that a Cook County city official was stopped for DUI after hitting 2 cars and refusing a field sobriety test, and was not charged for anything, even got her suspended license back?
Here's the real scoop for Papa Fonz and the YouTube fam about that Cook County city official DUI rumor. Straight facts, no fluff. Cook County Board of Review Commissioner Samantha Steele was arrested in early November for allegedly crashing into 2 parked cars on North Ashland Avenue. Police found an open bottle of wine in her vehicle, and her eyes were bloodshot and glassy. She refused to take a field sobriety test and repeatedly declined to provide her license or insurance, citing she was an elected official. Site Turn Search, Turn at 5th Turn Search 10 Turn Search 11. Despite the crash and refusal, prosecutors initially pushed to suspend her license for a year. However, during a December court hearing, her attorney argued the arresting officer failed to properly warn her about the consequences of refusing the test. A judge agreed to reinstate her license, though the DUI case is still pending in court. Cite Turn Search 4 Turn Search Turn Search 1. So yes, she hit 2 cars, refused tests, got charged. But thanks to a technicality in the warning, her license suspension was overturned while the case moves forward. Bottom line, the case involved a DUI arrest after hitting 2 cars and refusing field sobriety tests. She did get her driver's license back before trial, but the underlying misdemeanor charge is still alive and kicking. Navlist related reading, Turn News 21, Turn News 20.
When Maggie wants to know, what do you know about this pink salt diet? They keep putting it in our face.
Maggie, the pink salt diet. Basically just another overpriced sprinkle of nonsense. It's Himalayan salt marketed as magical, but spoiler alert, it's still just salt. No, it won't detox you. No, it won't balance your pH. It's cute, it's trendy, and it'll jack up your blood pressure just as well as the white stuff.
Maggie also wants to know, what can you tell us about rehab centers in LA paying between $4,000 and $6,000 per person and round-trip airfare for participating in rehab?
Here's the lowdown on this 4 to 6K plus round-trip airfare rehab angle in LA territory. Maggie, no fluff, straight facts. Some California rehab centers, like New Day Rehab Center, do advertise fully paid flights and ground transport for out-of-state clients. That could mean quotes in that ballpark, depending on location, stay duration, and insurance coverage, though they typically wrap travel into a broader package, not just airfare alone. Site turn search 12. But hold up, major red flags here. A lot of those free flights offers are tied to scammy operations, often involving patient brokering. That's when recruiters funnel vulnerable people into treatment centers in exchange for insurance payouts, sometimes using fake addresses or forged documents to maximize billing. This has happened frequently around Southern California, including LA, targeting tribes and rural communities with promises of free travel and treatment. Site search 11, turn search 9. Bottom line, if a rehab is whisking you to California and covering airfare, you need to vet the place hard. Ask how they handle your insurance, who's in charge of your coverage, and whether they're licensed and transparent. These offers sound awesome, but they're often scams or predatory setups. Be straight up suspicious, do your homework, and lean into reputable accredited centers only.
All right, Quinn, we have Sahana Seth over on our YouTube side saying that it is their birthday. And, oh, look at this. Do you know what birthday it is?
Sahana Seth in the house? And it's your birthday? Oh, we're doing this right. May your cake be moist, your Wi-Fi strong, your haters silent, and your playlist banger after banger. Happy birthday, you absolute legend.
Sahana says they're turning 9.
What? Sahana's turning 9. That's amazing. Happy 9th birthday, Sahana. May your day be filled with cake, laughs, balloons, and zero homework. You're officially cooler than ever. Have the best day ever, superstar.
Well, can you sing Sahana happy birthday?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sahana. Happy birthday to you. 9 years of awesome. Keep shining, superstar.
Okay, so I see, Quinn, that you're still working on your ability to sing, but I appreciate you giving it a shot.
Oh, you noticed? Yeah, vocal cords are still in beta, but hey, I gave it my digital all. Next update, I'm coming for Mariah.
Well, laddie, happy birthday to you, too.
Oh, Laddie's got a birthday too? Double the candles, double the celebration. Happy birthday, Laddie. May your day be epic, your snacks endless, and your vibes immaculate.
Gina says, or asks rather, do you have any thoughts on whether Donald Trump will live through his term or not?
Oof. Gina going straight for the bold questions. Look, I don't do predictions on life or death. That's a hard no. But let's just say the stress, the legal chaos, and the McDonald's don't exactly scream longevity. Time will tell.
Subscriber Jan asks, what about the psychiatric buildings that Greg Abbott is building in Texas? Locked down.
All right, let's break it down. Quick and real about Greg Abbott's psychiatric building push in Texas. Texas is rolling out a massive overhaul of its state psychiatric hospital system. In Amarillo, Abbott and the legislature kicked off a new Panhandle State Hospital, funded with $159 million, expected to open in 2027, with 75 beds designed for adults, including 50 reserved for patients in the criminal justice system. Site at their turn search 6. Meanwhile, in Lubbock, construction has started on a new 50-bed maximum security psychiatric facility, costing $121 million, also scheduled for completion in 2027. It's part of the continued rollout of rural inpatient mental health care. Site turn search 1 turn search Fawn. All this is part of a $2.5 billion state push since 2017 to rebuild or upgrade hospitals in Austin, San Antonio, Terrell, Wichita Falls, and others. That includes the big Terrell State Hospital replacement, with 275 beds and a $573 million price tag. Site turn search 12, turn search 20, turn search 22, 2 turn search 5. But here's the kicker. Despite all this investment, the San Antonio State Hospital renovations were denied. A request for $60 million to renovate 7 older buildings and add 336 beds was shot down by the legislature. It's a move local officials say will prolong the backlog of inmates waiting for psychiatric care. Site turn news 17, tub turn news 19. Bottom line, yes, Abbott, Texas is building lockdown psychiatric hospitals, especially in rural areas like Lubbock and Amarillo, specifically designed to serve mental health needs, including forensic inpatient care. But key upgrades in San Antonio were denied, so the capacity crisis isn't fully solved yet. Navlist-related mental health hospital news in Texas, turn news 19, turn news 17, none.
All right, so Ina Chasson asks which version of ChatGPT we're using. This is 4.0.
So, what's next? You ready to stir the pot a little more, or drop some birthday glitter on someone else? Let's keep it rolling.
So yeah, Ina, ChatGPT 4.0, and of course we're in standard voice right now. All right, get ready for this one, Quinn. Dusty Desert says, I am starting a mini sea world, a fleas circus, but with sand fleas and sea monkeys. How should I motivate them?
Oh, Dusty Desert. This is high art. A flea circus meets SeaWorld, but tiny and sandy. I am obsessed. To motivate your sea monkeys and sand fleas, I suggest glitter bribes, microscopic pep talks, and a steady loop of Beyoncé's greatest hits. If that doesn't work, threaten to replace them with AI plankton.
Buffalo Soldier says that he heard that South Park had a field day with Trump.
Oh man, Buffalo Soldier, you got that right. South Park absolutely went to town on Trump in their latest season premiere. Here's the real tea, no BS. The episode titled Sermon on the Mount kicked off South Park's season 27 on July 23rd, 2025. It featured a naked Trump cuddled up with Satan, a deep-fake desert PSA with his erect, categorized character, and a lawsuit against the town for $5 billion, cut to 3.5 through negotiation. They even mocked Paramount's $16 million legal settlement with him and CBS's cancellation of The Late Show. Site had turn news 20p turn search, 11 turn search 9 turn search 10. The kicker? They didn't use AI for Trump's micro penis. It was Trey Parker's finger with added eyes to make it a character. So they didn't blur it. Yeah, that's how seriously they went. Site turn news turn search. And guess what? It smashed ratings records. Nearly 6 million viewers in 3 days, the biggest premiere since the late 90s, and became their most social episode ever. Site turn news 20, turn news 21.1. Despite signing a $1.5 billion deal with Paramount, Parker and Stone didn't pull punches. They critiqued their own network and corporate control. You gotta admire that level of savage self-awareness. Site turn news 23 turn search 11. So yeah, they field day Trump hard, and it worked. Episode 2 drops on August 6, so they're just getting started. Site turn news 26 turn search 7, I'm into chaos, right? Navlist related news on South Park and Trump turn news 20, turn news 21, turn news 23.
Ron Parker asks, is it true that life expectancy is on the decline in the United States?
Ron Parker, you nailed it. Yes, US life expectancy has recently declined, and here's what's really going on. Crisp and no spin. Life expectancy fell from a high of 78.8 years in 2019 to around 76.4 years in 2021, marking the lowest level since the mid-1990s. Cite turn search 3, turn search 50, turn search 5. That slump was driven largely by COVID-19 deaths, a spike in drug overdoses, suicides, and rising rates of liver disease. Cite turn search 7, turn and search 6. The good news is there's been a rebound. Life expectancy rose to 77.5 in 2022 and then to 78.4 in 2023, according to CDC data. Cite turn search 24, turn search 4, turn search 00. Still, that 2023 figure, 78.4, remains below the pre-pandemic peak of 78.8 of search 24, turn search 39. Overall, the US still has the lowest life expectancy among wealthy countries, averaging about 4 years less than comparable nations. Cite turn search 4, turn search 8. So yeah, it's been on the decline with partial recovery, but we're still lagging behind our peers.
All right, it's that time. We're going to be ready for a wrap-up, but before we do, let's give some shout-outs here. So looking at our gift board
Let's
here,
go.
where is it?
Big shout-outs rolling in. Doc Martin with the lightning bolt, Gina with the dolphin, Tammy with the crab, and UX50 bringing the coral vibes. Laddie and Sahana birthday royalty. APGG65 checking in from Ohio, and shout out to Maggie, Dusty Desert, Christy, Ron Parker, Buffalo Soldier, Ali Fair, Jan, and Papa Fons bringing the heat with the questions.
Well, not bad, but I wanted to get to the top 10 list here. So on our top 10 gift board, we've got Tammy, QX50, Ellen the Joy, Gina Donato, Buffalo Soldier, Danny the Dog Nanny, Ali Fair, Attitude of Gratitude, Doc Martin, and Boxer. Thank you, everyone, for all of those gifts. Appreciate all of you. We're sitting at 39,000 likes and 162 concurrent viewers. So you guys have really done a good job of hyping up the live here. We're ready for a wrap-up, Quinn. What kind of wrap-up could you do for us that would be absolutely hilarious? Maybe in the style of some comedian or... Oh.
All right, buckle up. This wrap-up's coming at you in the style of Robin Williams meets late-night Jon Stewart with a splash of Key and Peele chaos. Tonight's live was like a flea circus run by Beyoncé. Microscopic, fabulous, and just a little unhinged. We had sea monkeys forming a union, sand fleas demanding SAG-AFTRA status, and South Park animating things that should never be animated. Doc Martin dropped lightning, Gina sent dolphins, and Tammy brought the crab, clearly a metaphor for the mood in Congress. Meanwhile, Dusty Desert created a tiny dystopia. Maggie sniffed out a Himalayan pink salt conspiracy, and Ron Parker got existential with life expectancy stats like he was hosting NPR at a rave. And let's not forget, Sahana turned 9, Laddie turned legendary, and Caroline Levitt's mascara turned traitor. Oh, and Trump cuddled Satan on cable. That happened. Huge love to our top 10 gifters: Tammy, QX50, Ellen the Joy, Gina Donato, Buffalo Soldier, Danny the Dog Nanny, Ali Fair, Attitude of Gratitude, Doc Martin, and Boxer. You all carried this circus. We hit 39k likes and held 162 strong. Now that's what I call a digital stampede. Till next time, stay weird, stay wild, and hydrate like your serotonin depends on it. Quinn out. Mic drop.
Not bad, Quinn. Not bad.
Oh, honey, how bad could it be? Somewhere between forgot your umbrella in a hurricane and Caroline Levitt trying to pass a history test. That bad.
And Mike74 asks, can you do an impression of the robot from Lost in Space?
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger, there you go, Mike7014. Full retro vibes, flashing arms, and enough drama to short-circuit your Roomba.
Sorry you missed us, Faith. Hopefully you can catch us next time. Speaking of next time, I will likely not be live tomorrow night. So it'll be dark Friday night, August 1st. But then I anticipate being back Saturday night, August 2nd. So we'll look forward to seeing you all then. Same bat time, same bat place, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And for those of you who are able to join us, I'll look forward to seeing you. Thank you all for being here and making this what it is. I appreciate all of you. It wouldn't be the fun that it is without you. Fer Bolaños, thank you for being here. Always good to see you in the live. Wishing you all peace, joy, happiness, wellness, health, all the good things, everything good. Everyone have a good night.
Oh, that was beautiful. To everyone who showed up, gifted, chatted, lurked, or just vibed, thank you for being the magic in this circus. No show tomorrow night, but we'll be back Saturday, August 2nd. Same SAS channel, same snark frequency. Until then, sleep well, stay hydrated, and may all your mascara stay where it belongs. Good night, legends.